Sam, get that set up before we start. Are we all set? Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Okay. Again, I want to thank you again for everybody here, being here tonight. Thank you for the little bit of a delay in the wait, being patient for that. At this time, I need approval of the agenda.
I motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second that.
Everybody in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that carries. We'll go on to B1, public comment. Have we got any public comment for tonight? Okay, we'll go on to B2. Board member discussion, legislative report. I have not got anything tonight. Had a very busy couple weeks and I haven't had a chance to take a look at all the bills, but I will be doing that here very soon to see which ones impact us the most and try to get an update on them. Is there any other business that any of the board members to bring up at this portion? Okay. Student representatives. It's nice to have you both here tonight.
I don't know. Okay. Is it on?
It's on, but it
Okay.
needs to be
Oh,
closed too.
okay. So, for my rep report, this is my first one. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. I did it on the cleanliness of the OHS campus. We've been getting, well, I've been getting a lot of parents, not only, and students, talking about how dirty the campus is lately, the parking lot especially, Husky Court, the football fields, the batting cages, over by the portables, they're all pretty dirty, and there's things from like McDonald's bags, wrappers, soda cans, plastic bags, silverware, cups, and even some schoolwork lying around, and it's all dirty, muddy now because the snow. Some of the solutions that Ms. Atchison and the OHS staff have come up with is making an advisory competition on who can get the most garbage cleaned up by weight, and they get a prize for it. They also use cleaning up the campus as a discipline, as like a detention alternative. I think it's also a great opportunity to just go to clean the campus for community service hours, like if you're an AVID or for National Honor Society, for FCCLA. I don't know, it's just a good opportunity, and I think it's cool that the OHS staff have recognized the issue and have made a positive reinforcement to, and just making it fun and encouraging students to keep the campus clean.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what we have going on tomorrow with the Cookies for Conversation. So we did all the advertising. We made a video that was played in all the advisories. We made flyers. We went to each advisory and talked in front of the class about letting them know what was going on. We have everything set up. Tomorrow, I believe they're gonna let us out of class at 10. Is it 10:40? 10:40. So we can have everything set up by the time lunch starts. Cookies are getting picked up at 10. We're gonna just be in the lunchroom and wait and see who comes and talks to us.
Who's doing the OHS one with you? Do you know?
It should be Sharon and Ken, right? Sharon
Great.
Ken, yeah.
And then the McFarland one is what date?
Thursday.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Thursday.
And that's
Mhm.
Lindsay, you and I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're all welcome to come and have a conversation with us and get a cookie. Those on that campus.
But yeah, that's what I have.
Awesome.
You guys have any questions?
So is there like a sign that's gonna be at the table?
We were thinking of doing what is it called, the thought thing, the thought exchange. The thought exchange. We did something similar when we had that big meeting with those bunch of students during advisory. So we're gonna do something with that, and when kids come up and talk to us, we're gonna have like a QR code there. So we're gonna. I believe the question was, what makes you feel belonging at OHS, and see what if kids want to answer and see what they answer.
Cool. Are you
Great.
planning the same, hoping that there's tech that students bring at McFarland too? Is that the same question, or do you know?
Not so much, but
See how it goes
yeah,
with the guinea pig school.
Yeah.
Great.
Is there anything you need from us before we get there, before go time?
No.
Or that you want us to come prepared with?
No,
No?
just be ready to have conversations. Hopefully kids come and talk to us. I mean, I really didn't think kids were going to be involved, but I had one kid ask me, how do you become a student rep, when I was going around the classes.
Nice.
And I was like, I mean, you obviously have to wait for someone's term to end, and then they're going to look for people. So yeah, although you can take over my spot if you want when I'm gone.
Great.
Okay. With that being concluded, we'll go to C1, required approvals. We need a motion.
There is a lot of people retiring or moving on in this list, and that's sad. But I propose that we approve the required approvals.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
With the first and second, we'll take the vote. All in favor, saying aye.
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 Any opposed? So carries. Superintendent informational items. Pete is not here tonight. I think he is with us on Zoom, though.
Yeah, I can hear the meeting just fine, Ken. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Really good.
I appreciate the opportunity to participate remotely and certainly appreciate Assistant Superintendent Shank sitting in my place. Before I jump into just the one item I have for this evening, I did want to step back to Gael's statement about the thought exchange and let him know that we could just create a one-page flyer, Gael, for that same QR code and a bit.ly also for the McFarland students if they wanted to use their Chromebooks. Then those students would just add to the content that we got that day. And I think it would be a richer experience for the students and if you're going to use the same question. So if that's what you intend to do, just check in with Marisa and she can help make that happen.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I just a question and a request for the board, and I think it's for the board and for the high school as well. I know that I got some feedback from, particularly from Ken and a couple of others about their appreciation for the style of the McFarland meeting and the opportunity to engage with smaller groups of certificated and classified staff in sort of 3 different settings and hear a little bit more diverse and varied opinion from folks on some of the same issues. Othello High School was wondering if we might adjust the site visit to a Monday as well to allow us to create a similar experience for the board at the high school. And so I committed to them that I would ask if the board was willing to adjust the date of the OHS site visit to a Monday.
I'm very willing of that, if we could kind of have the same type of a style of a meeting that we had with the junior high, which was very good.
Yeah, I thought that was really beneficial to meet with the different grade groups. So I don't know if we can do the 4 at the high school, but smaller groups I think is always better.
Or even if we did it by subject or whatever,
However it works.
whatever works,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
are you proposing moving it from Tuesday the 7th to Monday the 6th? Is that the?
Correct.
Great, yes.
Okay, sounds like
Yes.
we have consensus there. One other ask for the high school. Principal Kat Atchison is at a training on the Monday that Othello High School's targeted to report on that visit. It's not a training that we can remove her from. She's just not going to be in town. And so we would also like to push it back one board meeting. I think we did a similar thing here this year. So just be that slight adjustment and flexibility from the board as well to make sure that Principal Atchison is able to participate.
No, it sounds good.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
well, thank you for that. Marisa and I will make some adjustments to the calendar and get you those details. So I appreciate that. And as you move into the next part of your agenda, I'll stay on the Zoom, but I wish Principal Carlos Gonzalez and his team well as they share the good work that's happening at McFarland.
Thank you. No further superintendent information. We'll go on to D1. Last week we had the pleasure of a site visit with McFarland Junior High. Now we get a chance to hear from Carlos and his team.
Hi, can everyone hear me okay? Okay. Well, thank you, board, for this opportunity to present to you guys tonight. I also want to take the time to thank our parents and students who are here. So thank you for supporting our kids and for our students supporting our school in our presentation. And we will be highlighting our students here at the end of our adult presentation. Okay. If I may, I'm going to stand over here. If that's okay.
Yep.
I don't want to turn my back to our families over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I can to fly through what you already heard last week, board. Just as a quick reminder of what we talked about, and it'll be a quick message for our parents too about our MMS focus, and then I'll hand it over to Jenny Hokinson, who will lead us off with the adult presentation. But at McFarland, we have our focus, which again revolves around the instructional core and the relationship between the teacher and the student to the content, and the teacher to the content. And so we talked about responsive instruction, PLCs, and building on student ownership. And we also talked about the relationship of the OSD priorities around collaboration, ELL, and providing feedback, and that direct connection to our MMS focus. Specific to PLCs, we talked about some of the training that our staff have received and the essential questions and the types of meetings, et cetera. And we provided an example of how our staff meet and what they talk about with different roles, objectives, and the type of meeting that they've highlighted for that day. And then also the trainings that we provided around ELL. I know this is really fast, parents, but this was what the board received last Tuesday. And so this is just a quick review for them. We talked about data meetings and a reteach plan, but something that I did add to this presentation for you all, because it's really important to us at McFarland. It has everything to do with the culture and what we're trying to do to really focus on our people and build them up and take every opportunity to celebrate student and staff success. This is something that I often refer back to. This is a theory of action piece from our Association of Washington School Principals, where in year one, as you can see, something that we really want to be intentional about is our culture and our people. So that in time, through the relationships that we have with people and valuing everyone in the work that we do, we can build in our systems which will then have an impact on student learning. That's the idea, and it makes sense, right? And so that's something that's important to us. Here's some examples of our, or pictures of our people at McFarland, and, you know, some fun days that we've had, and here are some examples of what we do to celebrate people. You know, Brenda Dunn celebrating 30 years of education this month. Natasha, who had her baby in December. Leonardo, and Teacher of the Month, Mr. Larson, celebrating Gracie Mendez and her achievements in wrestling during the girls' wrestling season, and Georgia Revelo, who's done amazing work in music so far. So these are just examples, a few examples of what we do to celebrate our people, to build on our culture at McFarland. But now what I'm going to do is hand this over to our staff. We have Jenny Hokinson, who is our assistant principal, new this year to McFarland, coming to us from Connell. And then we'll have Brenda Dunn, Denise Colley, Meredith Schaefer, and Kathy Anderson, and they'll be up in a moment.
Okay, I don't even know how to work this. Is that bad? Do I hit the red button?
Push the right arrow.
The right arrow. Okay, so we're gonna first watch a quick video about something new that we have implemented this year called PBIS.
Sally Orozco, I teach math at McFarland Middle School. So PBIS is our positive behavior intervention system that we use to reward students for behaviors that we expect for them. We have the Mustang Way, which is about maintaining integrity, unity. So there's different aspects that we expect students to display inside the classroom, outside the classroom, in the hallways, during assemblies, just in general to remind them of our expectations.
You can earn points by doing the Mustang Way, or helping your teachers and helping other students and be doing good things. And you can use them and buy things from your teacher's stores or the school store. We
have a mobile app, so we can access that PBIS store, the rewards system. So we can scan their IDs and award them points, anywhere from 1 to 3 points. Generally, it's trying their best, using general manners, trying to better themselves educationally, like setting goals. Are they setting goals? Are they reaching those goals? Are they monitoring those goals? So different aspects for each teacher. They implement those in their classrooms in their own ways.
Okay, so that was a brief summary of kind of the reward system part of PBIS. And then we also have data, oh, sorry. Let's see.
Sally Orozco, I teach math.
Sorry about that. How do I? Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. All right, so this is kind of where we're sitting at. We oftentimes, the communication given to our community about the middle school is kids feel like, or parents feel like, it's a tough place to be. However, when we really look at the data, this is our most current data for as far as like referrals or discipline goes, and we're sitting at 0.29% of our kids are doing the right thing every day. They are the one. They are there. They're doing the things, and then we move into our 2 to 5, and that are just getting some minor referrals. It's a place to learn. It's a place to learn behaviors and expectations and kind of what's expected, and so we expect some kids to push their limits, and that's okay. And then we have our 3% that we're working with, trying to connect them with counseling and parent meetings and opportunities to readjust their behavior to better be a better student and hopefully a community member. Is there any questions about PBIS?
Actually, yeah. So how do you have to be recognized to do good in order to like get points for it?
Yes, so every teacher has the opportunity to recognize positive behavior. So we've been really pushing that and asking teachers to looking for those positive things. Sometimes, say a student is sitting in their seat and have their entry task out all ready to go, they might be rewarded for that. Somebody that's helping somebody else and being kind, they'll try to reward that. And if you look at, we have some students that are we just did a drawing, And so we have some students, I just looked at all the points, we have students that are up into 400 points, clear down to, 20 to 30 points. But every student has been recognized.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, I'm going to turn it over. Thank you.
Okay, so Denise and I are going to be talking about our Mustang mission. And basically what we're doing is helping every student to be their own teacher. What this means is, how do they advocate for themselves? How do they know what they're learning as where they're at in their learning and where they need to go next, and how they can level up their grade or whatever the expectation is. Okay, so right now we have a teacher who's going to speak to that.
As part of the leadership team, we're trying to solve the equation of making assessment capable, visible learners, where students know where they are in their education, they know what they're learning, which means they know where they want to be.
So we are studying about developing an assessment capable learner. I have actually told the students that, oh, don't worry about this test. This test is for me to manage your growth and to monitor it. But actually, this is teaching us that the students should be involved in monitoring their own growth and asking themselves questions like, what have I learned? What do I still need to learn? What do I need to do to get there? And so it's really interesting because it gets the students involved in actually helping to see what they need to do, and they are thinking about where they need to go. Another thing it talks about is learning intentions and success criteria, where as a student, as a teacher, I typically have told the students, okay, today my goal for you is to learn this. And so at the end of this lesson, if you feel that you have learned it, then you've accomplished your goal.
There's the idea that students feel great levels of apathy. They don't turn anything in. Well, if you understand that they don't see value in what they're learning, that it doesn't apply to them, as an adult, I could see that too. I wouldn't want to be interested.
Being relevant is like, I can subtract 2 integers to find the difference. Well, let's talk about, why do you need to know that? How is that going to help you in your life, like today, tomorrow? And so when they start thinking about how these the success criteria helps them, it's not way in the future, that makes it more important.
As part of the leadership team, we're trying to solve the equation of making.
So what we're doing with all of this and finding out our strategies, what we want to do is make sure that it has an effect size. So basically, what's the correlation of our strategy and the success of our students and what they're learning? And when we're doing whenever we do what the teachers are talking about, we find that it's a 1.44 effect size, and 0.4 is like a year's growth. And so if we're doing this right and we got the students involved, we're looking at a 1.44 effect size. And I'll let Denise add to that if she wants to, and then we'll go from there.
So what was said on the video with the staff members is just fantastic, because that's the direction we really want to go. We want the learning to be relevant for our students, because how many of us really want to sit through something that has no relevance to us? Well, our students feel like that too, when the lessons don't make sense on how they can use that information today. So we're working on building that relevance in our classes. Along with that, with the assessments, it is about the learning that they are going through each day. What's important for them, how to apply that. And as the teachers are working through we're going through a book study, and it's dealing with how do we make it relevant? How do we apply this learning? What strategies do we do? And then we've been challenged as teachers, now that we read a chapter, okay, now go and do. So Half the teachers in that study group, they went, they did, they came back. We asked, how did it go? And teachers, it worked. It really worked. So we're having this exciting book study. There was a picture of it coming up. So you haven't seen it yet, but wait for it. It's fantastic. But all of this is to help with this Mustang mission, which is about getting students ready to learn. So that when they come in, it's not just another day in math class. It's not just another day in science or ELA or whatever. It's learning that's applicable.
And we're also like working with them on it's okay to not know as long as you're asking questions, and we learn more when we fail than when we succeed all the time. So we're really trying to celebrate the learning that we find from our failures also in class, and so make that a norm, that it's okay because we have to learn from that. So this is just everything that we've kind of already looked at, setting their goals, how they're going to self-monitor, learning from their peers. We know that, sometimes when we just talk to our peers and we can have conversations, we learn more from our peers than we do the person trying to tell us what we need to learn. Oh, I'm going to go back one really quick. So basically, what we're asking them to do is, where am I going? How am I going? And where to next? So those 3 stages in their learning.
So this is the book that we're doing as a book study. There it is. It's right there. And at first, the title is kind of one of those yawners, but we've actually been really making some great gains in it. And I think we're 4 chapters in, and teachers are talking about it. And when the teachers are talking about it and excited about the strategies that they're implementing in class, that then spills over into the classroom. And as the teachers are trying new things and at times failing at things, that grows that atmosphere that it is okay, that we're all learners and we're all trying to do things in a better way for students.
Now we're going to hand it over to our counselors, Kathy and Meredith.
Okay, so we get to tell you about something really exciting. About a year ago, we started to brainstorm how we could help our parents feel more welcome at our school and how we could educate them and help them to know what they need to know. And so we did this huge brainstorm meeting. We threw everything of it that we could think of what we wanted to talk to our parents about, what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it, and then we prioritized them. So when you see the blue, that's sort of what we came down to that we wanted to do for this year. So Meredith and I are gonna kind of break that down. So our first one was in October. It was really exciting. We fed hot dogs, everybody hot dogs. My husband was really excited because I brought some home and that's his favorite meal. So we wanted to talk about communication with our schools and teach them the expectations that we have of the students. Because sometimes there's just very simple things that our parents, we'd like them to know. So we talked about the Students' Day. We talked about what students learn, briefly talked about the standards and the content that they have. We taught them or presented our grading policy so they knew how we were grading their students. And we also talked about how we connect with, how they can connect with us. Because we think that we have all these ways to communicate, but if they don't know about them, then they're not very successful. So Facebook, Mustang Messenger are talking points, and we also had opportunities for them to get signed up with those things if they didn't have them. And then we talked to them about athletics and the activities. Many of our students don't do athletics because the family ID process is painful at times to sign up. And so we taught them how to do that. We connected them with the right people and explained sports physicals in the season so that they could do it. And then we talked about just different student expectations. This is very brief. We went into a lot more detail. But we talked about attendance, the dress code, and then just what our Mustang mission was about. We wanted to do just some basic things at the beginning of the year to bring them on board. So in November, we upped our game a little, and we had hamburgers. Yes. And I think we added chips or we added something. Oh, cookies. I can't remember. Anyway, and we got a little bit deeper, and we talked to them about our PBIS rewards and referral program that you heard about and you are familiar with. We were just introducing it, so we introduced it to them at the same time. We talked to them about our Character Strong program and what we do in there, what the point of it is, and we're teaching their kids to be good people. And then we talked to them about, of course, our favorite part of our school is the counseling department, but we explained to them what we do, how to get a hold of us if they have a concern that they want to share with us, how to contact us, and we told them about our counseling center and what we have to offer for their students. And we introduced our migrant support program to them and told them about Marisol, who is our migrant person, offers our students so much support. Then what we're really excited about in January, this Thursday, we're going to do a presentation on social media. And I think I'm really looking forward to Thursday. We're going to talk to them about the different platforms that students are using. A lot of parents know, but there's some that they don't know about. Tell them about the advantages and disadvantages of different platforms. Probably tell them some of the ones that I think are evil. What we're seeing at McFarland, why we're concerned about this. What are we seeing? We're seeing kids sending messages during the day, kids taking photos during the day, maybe sharing them in a way that they shouldn't. We're seeing kids who get their phones taken away, but they have another phone. SIM cards get traded, all that good stuff. Kids are going to love us for this presentation. We're going to talk about how we help keep students safe at our school with social media, especially our platforms from school. We have the Gaggle alerts. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but briefly, if a student puts anything concerning on with their school ID, then we get an alert that says, oh, somebody said something that sounds harmful or dangerous, and we get alert all hours at any time when they do it, even if it's late at night, and we check in and make sure that that person's safe. I love that. I think it's something that is really helping our students. And then teaching our students about technology, teaching them how to use it appropriately, teaching them some of the dangers. Chad Smith does a great presentation on that, and we really take every opportunity, Meredith and I, every chance we can get just to talk about the dangers and the proper way to deal with social media. And then offer some of the parent resources, maybe introducing some of the ideas of the boundaries and the limits that they can put on their phones and their devices, about taking it away at night because we have our kids staying up way too late on social media, and just give them some tips and some resources on what they can do. So we're looking forward to it. Thursday night, you can come join us.
And the time and the meal is?
Our place?
5:45 at McFarland in our Commons. I think we're having hamburgers again because they were a hit. Yeah. And we have childcare too. So we went from about 20 to 40, and our last one, I think we were close to 80. Wow. So we're hoping for a good turnout for our social media one. So I'm going to turn over to Meredith. She's going to tell you what we have in store for them after this.
Okay, and I'm just going to plug, in case you didn't hear because Brenda wasn't on the mic, but with each meeting, we are providing childcare. So families can come and bring their little ones and still be a part of all of the information sharing. We have food, hamburgers this time, and parents do leave. Our goal is that parents leave with some just information from our school or of resources in our school or resources available in our community to help them deal with the situation or deal with the topics that we're addressing. Okay, so then these are just some upcoming parent nights. So we're planning on attacking teen development on February 23rd. So some of the areas that we are going to cover, a lot of us have been indoctrinated with this book. I would say indoctrinated. This book that it's called This We Believe, and it's about the middle schoolers and just their stage of development, different stages. So we'll talk to the families about that, and I think this is just our rough brainstorm right now, but we're going to cover like some physical changes that might affect them at this time, cognitive, so how they think about things, their moral development. We see, endless students lying in order to protect themselves or save themselves when they're in trouble. And so just helping parents and the adults in our community understand the middle schooler and why they do that thing. It's part of their development, and they're saving themselves. And then psychological and social emotional kind of developmental stages that they're in at this time. And really, we want to hit what it looks like and what it sounds like at school, because we understand why some of our students behave the ways they do. A lot of parents, we want them to understand why they're behaving at this age or at this stage in life a certain way at home and then around the community. So we're looking forward to that so that we can help our parents help their middle school or child navigate education at this time and home life, and to continue developing in healthy ways. On March 30th, we're going to look at community support, and right now we're kind of we're looking at some larger ideas about services that are available to families in our community that aren't just direct services that we provide in the school. So we're going to work around this and see what other options are available. We know a lot of counseling resources, but we want to talk about furthering education for families that want that for themselves, whether it's ESL, so English as a second language, or possible GED course options in our community. And then we also have Strengthening Families, which is family education, parenting around behavior and difficult relationships within families, and that's done through juvenile services right now. So stay tuned for more information on that, but these are our future parent nights for this year. We're loving this. It's been a dream of ours to connect with our families in just these intentional ways that can help them support their students as they're becoming older children and young adults. So thank you.
Any questions from our board?
I just had a quick one about, more of just a comment. In your first meeting where you talked about athletics and activities and helping families do family ID, I think that that has been super helpful, because according to our athletic director, we're getting turnout from kids that we unprecedented numbers. And it's there's A team, B team, C team, D team, just so many teams and so many kids turning out. And to that point, I had a conversation today about the levy and how important it is for our kids and how many kids we have turning out. And when you're involved in school activities, whether it's sports or something else, the trouble that it keeps kids out of, because they have to maintain grade point averages and different things. So it's a snowball effect of thank you so much for doing that and getting kids involved and having parents recognize the importance that different activities at schools, how important they are for their kids. So kudos.
Can I make a comment on that too?
Yes.
So we notice the importance of that. We push it. I'm glad that we provide this opportunity for our families, but I would love it, in talking to our students, we know that there is a discrepancy in our students who live out of town, who lack transportation, participating in sports. And it's not financial reasons sometimes, because we can find creative ways to provide that. It's rides home, safe rides home. So they're not able to participate. I see this a lot, and I know Mrs. Anderson does too, where they cannot participate because the families don't trust other people to take their children home late at night, after practices, after sports. And so I'm glad that people like the increase in sports. We do too. I would love to see some conversation about what else we could do for transportation for our students in need and who live out of town, which happen to be the ones that we know have the greatest need.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. That's great.
Any other questions?
Yep.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
As you can see, I get to work with some amazing people who are making some great things happen at McFarland, and we're a team, and we're really honest with each other. We build each other up. We call each other out, but we're still a tight-knit group we're just trying to do the best that we can for kids in the community. But now the best part, our kids. And so, I should share this real quick. Can you play that, Marisa? This is the tail end of our parent partnership.
Hemos aprendido de las de las consejerías que hay en la escuela que nos ayudan con los niños y de los otros temas que están hablando de cómo seguir con los niños también, pues hablar con los niños de los que es bueno y que es malo también. De cómo entrar en la computadora a chequear cómo están sus calificaciones y si vienen todos los días en la escuela, todo eso pues.
Pues en todo, ¿no? En todo, porque pues es bueno venir aquí en la junta porque cosa que no sabemos allá en la casa, aquí puede uno aprender también cómo ayudar a los niños.
I love that we get to do that. So I really appreciated their feedback on that. Can you go to the next one, Marisa? Thank you. And now our student and program highlights. Who you saw earlier, we actually asked Diego and Gabby. Gabby was part of our interview for PBIS and speaking to the program. And so we wanted to acknowledge her. And Diego was part of our work too, but he didn't want to be videoed, and that's okay. That's completely okay. But as far as our 3D design, if I can invite our 3 students, we have Jaden, Lucy, and Isaiah. If you guys would come up front, please. So, come on over. So our students, I appreciate their willingness to do this for you guys and for our community. They're going to introduce themselves, and they know that they're just going to speak to what they've learned so far in this program, what they love about it, and what their hopes are, too.
I'm Jaden Rowley, and I am one of the 3 representing the 3D design class. In this class, one of my favorite things about it is once you learn the curriculum on SolidWorks and once you learn the basic understandings, you can pretty much create anything you want. And one example of this is I've created this replica of a lightsaber from Star Wars. And I hope that we can continue this program and share it to more students so everyone can be able to create their own things.
My name is Isaiah Kenty Romero. I am one of the 3 representing 3D design, and feel like the class is challenging, but as you go along, it does get easier, and you start thinking of different ways that you can design things, simple things that can be turned into much bigger, more advanced things. And I really just hope that we can like keep moving forward with that and keep introducing kids to different kind of more advanced courses like this.
I am Lucy Gilbert, and I am representing 3D Design. What I love about the program is our SolidWorks, like the certification route, because it's showing kids some basic things that they need in the field. If they ever wanted to go into jobs that require this skill, and it's very handy, and you can make many things. Like I made this little dagger. I hope in the future that kids will be inspired to take these kind of jobs because of this class. They're much needed. Yeah.
Would you mind walking by with your project so we could see?
And the extras. Thank you.
Thank you, students.
Thank you.
Awesome. Wow. Oh, you made these Legos too. Cool. I'd love to see it, Lucy.
They make their own Legos?
They can. So thank you, Jaden, Lucy, Isaiah. Appreciate you guys. Up next, we'll invite
Lucy knows me too well to have handed me a sword. That was a dagger. She said it was a dagger.
I think so, then doesn't you put the string in and it builds it? Excellent.
So Jaden, I think that there was a photo of you. You didn't get to see this part of playing chess with Dr. Perez. Oh, darn it. Do you know who won? Oh, okay. What is all of your favorite monofilament colors? Yes, tricolor, okay. Yes, right, okay. Isaiah? Awesome, okay. Lucy? Any of them? All of them? Can you come to my house and teach my sons that are older than you how to use our 3D printer, please, Lucy? Because we have problems and we keep not figuring it out, so we need some help. Okay, thanks.
You've been taking
Yes.
those out of the box.
And they'd be so embarrassed learning from you, Lucy. It'd be so awesome to see.
Thank you for letting us see
Yes,
this.
thank you.
It's
This
amazing.
is so good.
Those were gifts. Those were gifts. Aren't those awesome?
Very cool work. Thank you, students. Let's give them a hand real quick.
This one is a sword.
And we'll get a picture of all the students together with our board at the end of the presentation, if that's okay. Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. Devin, what's my favorite color?
Of monofilament?
Yes, the funny one.
Well then, I love that you had that announced.
Yes, that was
So-
an interesting one. That's
so
actually out there. It's a beautiful red. But they can work on the naming. Anyways.
It was only because of the naming
Yes.
you liked it so much.
Up next, we have our amazing drumline group. And so Jace, Daniela, Enrique, come on up real quick.
Good evening. My name is Jace Ritchie, and we're here to talk to you about Drumline. I like Drumline because it introduces kids to music without being too difficult. It also helps kids in 7th and 8th grade become friends and form relationships and have fun while doing it. I'm looking forward to the chances to be able to go to a bunch of fun competitions and parades.
My name is Daniela Medina, and what I like about Drumline is that it teaches us lessons like teamwork, dedication, and persistence in fun ways. And I'd like to see more students participate.
My name is Enrique Diaz, and what I like about Drumline is that we get to merge in certain places, in our upcoming merging event. I forgot what it's called, but the lilac parade. And I hope that we could merge in Seattle and Snoqualmie, I think. And I just love drumline because I get to bang the drum and make noise.
Can I ask each of you, what is your favorite percussion instrument?
Snare.
Snare for Enrique.
Mine is snare too.
Yes.
The cymbals, because it makes the most noise in the quickest amount of time.
So you, Jace, so you.
Let's give them a hand. Thank you, drumline. And last but not least, we have video production, Isaac, Connor, and VNA.
Hello, my name is Connor Gilbert, and I love this, the video production publishing class, because in all the other classes you follow a set line and you have assignments. This one we get to create our own path and decide what we want to create. We, like when we go on vacations or go somewhere, we can use those experiences and make a video out of them to share with other people. I hope that we can have more people do it, and I like that we can have everyone choose their own things and help grow our school culture.
My name's Isaac Alcaraz, and what I like about video production is that we actually get to do the news of the school, and we get to do the yearbook of the school, and I hope more people get into that class.
My name is Vinny Pineda, and what I love about that class is that it's not difficult, and I feel free to do anything I love, and I hope that it keeps on growing and that more students enjoy that class.
Okay, here's my question for you guys. You ready? Keep the mic because you're going to have to answer. Favorite aspect of it? Is it being in front of the camera? Is it being behind the camera? Is it directing? All of the different, there's so many different aspects. And even making the yearbook. Which is your favorite component?
For me, it's making the yearbook.
Making the yearbook, yeah.
I like to help edit the videos and make them look more organized and stuff like that.
Great, thank you.
Great.
And special thanks to not only our students, but also to the teachers who support these programs. Devin Lewis for 3D design, John Smith for video production, and Will Ludy for drumline. They're doing an amazing job to support our kids in these programs, so thank you. And we have one last video, 30 seconds, and we're done. Next slide. Boom. Little 30-second sample of what happens in video production.
Welcome to episode 18 of the news show. And it doesn't even have all the sports, and the band is in it. Who cares?
We all care. They play amazing.
No, okay, the most popular slushy brand or slushy flavor. Definitely blue. Okay, thank you. Who am I with?
Ivan.
Who is the best soccer player in general?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
See you next time on the news.
Bye.
The kids make those, and so it's awesome work. And so I know we went way over. I didn't expect it to go this long, but I really appreciate our parents supporting our kids to be here tonight, and especially the kids for the work that they're doing in our specific programs, the support we have with our teachers to make it happen, and obviously being surrounded by an amazing team who pushed me to be the best I can be in my job too. So thank you for the opportunity to share. Do you have any questions?
I'll let you go.
Okay. I want to give like a standing ovation. Like this has been one of my favorite presentations ever. And so I appreciate it. For the last 3 years I've been on the board, when we come in and there's this many people in the room, I have an instant anxiety attack because of things that have transpired through COVID. It's never a good sign when we have an audience. So I was instantly like, what am I not getting? Like, what did I miss? What dramatic things happening tonight? So this was such a great turn of events. We haven't ever highlighted students in our school presentations, and Carlos, it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. So thank you. And thank you for hosting us at your school. I loved every part of it. And this has been one of the best board meetings we've ever had. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you, parents, for showing up for your kids, showing up for your community, showing up for everything. Like it's a big deal to sometimes just show up. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
So I didn't have a chance to look at this earlier, which I'm certainly glad I didn't. And I thought when we started out, well, this was the same stuff he did tell us. I hope it's not the whole program, but it's blown out. It was fabulous. One of the things we really, really appreciate is student involvement in meetings. And we really, really appreciate that students and parents came tonight, because it's something we really want to recognize all the time. And it was top. Thank you so much. Great presentation, admin, staff, students, parents, everything. We really liked it. And yes, it was a really great site meeting. Yeah, yes.
Love them as always. Thank you for our wonderful gifts for your classes as well. And there's a sword in here. But not as cool as Lucy's sword. Dagger, sorry. it's always great to be able to definitely highlight and just to be able to talk to the kids and to be able to do those things. And it shows the amount of passion that not only the admins have, but that all of the staff have at your campus. And that book sounds really cool. I think maybe we need to do a board study on that book. And just to show and to see by data how great your students are in numbers, but also in personality as well. That's always so great. Thank you.
Carlos, I appreciate this. This is by far one of the best presentations that I've had here as being on the board. I think you've kind of set a new standard. And I hate to say that. You know,
This was a total
we
team effort, and
appreciated
it was the
this,
kids
yes.
too.
You know, but you brought it down back to what we are all here for. We're here for the kids. The kids are involved in this. They're involved in your presentation. A lot of the other presentations have never involved the kids. So they were great, but this is the special effect to it. And I really appreciate that. I know the junior highs went through a lot of changes lately, and they're all changes for the good and all for the better. And it's going to be a slow process, but you're off to a great start. I really appreciate what you and your staff have did, and what you are doing and what you're going to accomplish at that school. Really appreciate it very much. And thank you again, parents, for supporting your kids, supporting the school and the staff, and I hope we can continue that. We've got great things coming.
Thank you so much for your kind words and for your support, and we're going to keep doing what's best for kids and to support our teachers and staff to do the best that we can for them. So thank you so much. And last thing, students, thank you for your courage tonight. We're going to take a quick picture with our board. So come on up real quick. And I'm treating you to pizza tomorrow. So.
Can we be in the photo this time and not be hiding behind
I was going to
the
ask you to
students?
come
Thank
and
you.
stand up. While they're coming up here, though, board, I want to add something here. Think back to a year and a half, 2 years ago, when we started opening up our schools again, and what we were hearing over and over and over again from the teachers and the parents at the middle school, that they'd forgotten how to speak to each other.
Yes.
They'd forgotten how to use their voice. These are middle school kids, and they stood up and did a job that I do every day that I still can't do without getting weak knees. So they did a great job. I think they found their voice.
And then we're on the outside edges. Students, we want you in the middle over here, and we're going to be on the outside edges because you don't want to have all that stuff in your face. Okay, I'm going to go on. Let's go back. I'm going to have you guys over here. Enrique, Isaiah, you're tall. You're going to go by Jace, even though he's trying to stand on his tippy toes. I know. You guys are good. This guy. Connor or Jaden?
All right, everybody squeeze in a little bit tighter. We're not doing social distancing today. Okay, everybody smile. Thank you. Wait.
Everybody else get up.
I do that every time.
This guy's got to get the best stuff on video. Right. Okay, are we all good? Did you get it? Okay. Thank you, seriously. Great job, guys. Okay. Anyways.
We'll go on to upcoming events. We just have the two cookies and conversations coming up. And we all know where we're going on that one. Time for a board self-assessment.
Awesome presentations.
Well planned out
Great.
agenda.
Yeah.
Very well planned out.
We're still even
Yes.
within an hour time slot, and
Yes.
that presentation was excellent.
I know it.
So,
Carlos said it went long, but to me, that
No.
wasn't long. It was
Yeah.
all based on the
Right,
kids and what
right.
they were accomplishing and what they're doing. And I could spend all day listening to stuff like that.
same. I want to
Right.
make that like a
Yes.
requirement from now on.
Yes, wouldn't that be fun?
That was so good. I loved it.
Right. It will be great to be back to 5 soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, 5 board members. Gifts are
Sad
always
that Pete
awesome.
wasn't here today. I mean, he's here on Zoom, but it's always nice to have his presence in the room and his comments
Perspective
and
and
things like that. Yeah.
definitely.
Student reps, great presentations on yours.
Yep.
Informative, and everybody's just getting with it so well.
Yeah.
Friday? Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Let me look that.
Do I have that
just
on the
need to
wrong
make
day?
sure that I have that right.
I thought it was on Thursday, but then I checked and it was on 27th.
I have it, the 27th is a Friday.
So do I. Well,
Okay. I
You
think we
are
just
correct.
said Thursday to each other and
Yeah.
went, what? Wait.
Yep.
Okay.
Friday it is.
Concise meetings are always awesome.
Yeah.
Just got a lot accomplished in this.
Right.
It's
To
an hour.
have,
Yes.
to have a big audience is just great, even though I spit out my water as I walked in the room.
Yeah. I love that we had people here. That was good.
Yes. So.
A lot of good parent support.
Yeah.
Which
Parent
is
support,
great.
right. And to ask for translation and need it, love, I don't know how we could get that more often
Yeah.
in the room and presence, because we want to be able to accommodate everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So impressed by the students and that they got up and said their names and what they were doing and what their hopes for the future. I was like, I don't know. I know they practiced, but still it was like.
And even if they're
I loved it.
uncomfortable, right, it was
So
great,
good.
yes, yes.
Even the parents that spoke, luckily I brought this up so I could read the translation because I couldn't see it up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was barely getting it.
Yeah.
Some of it was too fast for me and I couldn't, yeah,
It was
I'm
great.
much closer, so,
That's
but,
great though.
right.
Loved it.
Any further? Okay, great meeting. With that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank
See
you.
tomorrow.